Hello there, my very good friends. On this video, news, theory, I don't know, discussion, we're going to talk all about Karrion Kross.
Yes!
And why he's not getting pushed in WWE at the moment. I'm Andy.
I'm Adam.
And this is sort of the news.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, it's more cool theory 10 minutes with Andy and Adam on a Monday morning. But hey, let's mix it up.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Karrion Kross.
Oh,
he's over at the moment. He's really popular at the moment. He has had a very interesting 2025 in terms of push versus reactions. So, especially online, he has become very cult-like favorite.
Yes.
I think obviously a lot of it is condensed to online. However, when things happen like they did this weekend, where a clip of Kross entering on main event does the rounds. Someone posted it online, it gained a bunch of traction, and he gets this tremendous reaction in the arena as well. Shows you it's more than just a little online bubbly thing. People are super into the Karrion Kross at the moment, and when you have a situation where someone is super over, where their overness is up here and the push is like here, and there's a big disparity there, it creates this interesting discussion point of why they are not pushing this man. Now, there is a theory doing the rounds. It's very conspiratorial as to the real reason WWE are not pushing Karrion Kross yet, but we'll get to that a bit later on. First of all, Adam, you're a Krossman.
I am indeed.
How do you feel?
Yeah, myself and the Dudley Boys have been fans of his for quite some time now. I think he's had, a weird sort of road to where he's at right now. Like, you think about it, he was amazing when he first arrived in NXT and just killed everybody. Then it kind of peaked, in my opinion, and kind of lost his way. He was just very emblematic of the latter days of Triple H's black and gold NXT, just
Yeah.
And then obviously there was the terrible jump to the main roster where he lost to Jeff Hardy in like 2 minutes or something, wearing some stupid outfit.
Sir, it was at least 4.
Oh, sorry.
Come on.
It just felt like
show respect.
Yeah, and it was kind of the beginning of the end for him there. And then they sort of stuttery pushes for him. Oh, you can have a group. They're not very good and you won't win anything. But hey, Bubba Ray Dudley at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
What about that? But now it does really feel, since the turn of the year, that there is this sort of, groundswell of support behind Karrion Kross. Big reaction he got, despite not being on the card necessarily at WrestleMania, when he popped up in Logan Paul and AJ Styles. He cut that shoot promo on I think it was the Raw recap or whatever it was, effing and jeffing all over the place, complaining about his situation. And now, I don't watch main event, who does? But that is ridiculous to say the phrase huge pop on main event and not have the word Saturday night preceding it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting one for sure. He's been through many different phases, as you summarized, and I think obviously the lowest of the low for him was that main roster debut a few years ago, to where they removed everything. They removed the entrance, they removed Scarlett, they gave him a silly mask, they gave him this it was like Demolition, but even more like a gimp attire that they gave him, and it really did him no favors.
No.
And he didn't get over. He returned, he was released, he was re-signed.
I forgot about the release.
Yeah, he was released and re-signed following the regime change.
Because he's a Triple H guy.
He's a Triple H guy, understandably so. And he came back, and he's never really been, until this current period, right? He's never really been over on the main roster.
No.
But he has found his character, he has found his voice, and what he needs to, he's figured it out. He's just been more of a silly goose.
Yes.
And it's worked quite well for him.
Pattern now, yeah.
Yeah, the character, I think, is very reminiscent of the Devil's Advocate stuff that Sean O'Haire did latterly.
Yeah.
In the later stages of his WWE run, where he was manipulative and taking credit for stuff and being super gaslighty and hey, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. He was I don't know, he was one of these crazy preacher guys that raised that believe in aliens that come from the planet Zorg or whatever. I don't know.
He does, whenever there's something big that happens, like a Seth Rollins heel turn at WrestleMania, he's very much my work here is done. You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
He's always in the background, chatting to people on Raw. He's I think he was showing his T-shirt or something to the New Day. He's trying to infiltrate the Judgment Day. It's really intriguing, genuinely. I hope for the best, because that main roster jump, just a quick word on that actually, that is the sort of personification of the latter days of a jump from Triple H's NXT to Vince McMahon's WWE. You know all that stuff that made you popular down there? Let's get rid of that and do this wacky thing instead.
Yeah. Exactly. Bearcat Lee is another one.
Oh, God, yeah.
But yeah, there's plenty of examples.
That amazing moment you had in the Survivor Series. Forget all that.
Yeah, you are now a bear cat.
Half man, half bear, half cat. What?
Yeah, he's 1.5 in total. And obviously that nickname had been used before, but with Keith Lee, it was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about this theory then, because he has become very popular, Kross. And it's more than just an online bubble thing if he's getting those reactions in the arena.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just like 200 people on Twitter going, push him. It's in the arenas. The theory that has been doing the rounds, and it's very conspiratorial, is that this whole thing is a WWE plant.
Okay.
Right? They are deliberately holding off on pushing him to build support in order to, when they eventually pull the trigger on that push, he'll get the big pop, and then the company will be seen as doing the right thing because they'll be doing the fans justice.
Okay.
So like this theory is, I mean, you know, sometimes it's a little crazy, sometimes it adds up. Like, and the idea is that these stories, and actually, if you're a part of this theory, you would probably look at this video and go, haha,
yeah,
you are part of the psyop. To where like WWE's leaking stories about people being upset and all of this stuff to like content creators and stuff like that. So full disclosure, WWE has not leaked a single thing to us regarding that. We're just making the video because it was a big talking point.
I'll never reveal my sources.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very secret. But what do you reckon of that? It would make right. I can see the first breadcrumb falling with that shoot promo, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way that happens without WWE. You know, they would just pull it from the thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
If they didn't like it, it wasn't a total shoot. Like it's not. You know, Samoa Joe and CM Punk in a little studio on a camcorder.
No, it's more Miz on Talking Smack, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. What do you reckon of that theory? Do you think WWE's doing this on purpose?
Do you know what? I can get on board with this theory. Genuinely, I can see where you're coming from because it did feel weird, the whole Karrion Kross thing.
This is reflective, so it's quite close to a foil hat, I guess.
So, I'll push my ears out a bit more.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So,
it's like mine now.
Yeah, so I can get on board with it because, like you say, it feels surreal that it would have felt normal in the olden days where it was like Zack Ryder, for example, got himself popular and WWE were like, we didn't do that. Yeah. We hate you. We bury you for it. Like nowadays, it is the sort of conduit to success, isn't it? If you just get yourselves popular with the fans, and even more so than, like you say, this internet bubble, and maybe this is the thing that's feeding into it of like, now we're trying to get this more and more out into the mainstream so the regular fans that aren't as hyper online as me and Andy are getting on board with it because, you look at Jey Uso as a perfect example of someone who I think it's fair enough. This time last year, we'd have turned around and said, I think there's a limit to him, and I think he's probably peaked. He's main event of WrestleMania, tag team champion. He's done single stuff with Roman, etc., etc. Very good. Back down to doing tag stuff with your brother.
See you later. Yeah.
Then he wins the Royal Rumble, wins the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania, and look at him now. So it's one of those things where that, compared to what's going on with Karrion Kross, is very weird because it would seem that WWE does listen to what fans want a lot of the time, and it's strange that he's not even been given like a bit of a push, a few wins on telly. He gets like very much. I think you said to me that he's had like 4 or 5 matches this year,
something like that. Yeah, not a lot.
Not a lot at all. So it could. I'm getting more and more on board with it the more I think about it, the more it rolls around in my brain because if for example they wanted to do something with him, you would normally get sort of reports from Sapp or Meltzer or whoever it may be, Mike Johnson, saying they hear you and they are bouncing some ideas around and they're hoping for something big for him for, let's say, SummerSlam or whatever.
Sure.
Or he's a bit of an outside contender for Money in the Bank. But the fact it's just completely silent and you're lucky if you get one of those promos on the stand in the crowd during ad breaks. That's the best you get with Karrion Kross right now.
Yeah, and they're good, but it's like it's not featured. It's during an ad break.
If you want to make a sort of formed yes movement that they're actually involved with, I mean, obviously that was the plan all along with Daniel Bryan. That was definitely what they wanted to do. At WrestleMania 30.
Everybody knows that.
But this seems to be the way that I would go about it, genuinely.
Yeah, a little bit of manipulation. And look, WWE's PR department is very active. They are out there. They are leaking fast national numbers to people who accept cheese boards as gifts. They're doing stuff, man. They're doing bits.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I do see where that theory kind of comes from. It's an interesting one. I think with Kross, his broader appeal does come from his personality.
Yeah.
Like anyone who saw like his interview with Chris Van Vliet, where he unrolled the, I think it was a workout video actually, where he unleashed the Jesse Ventura impression. Yeah, was like, oh, whoa, gee whiz, this is awesome.
Yeah, there's something there, isn't there?
Do that more, and he's found that spark. Like he is a bit sillier.
Got a documentary out or something?
I think so.
I want to watch that.
I think so. But he's obviously, and then he goes around, and they've let him do Bloodsport and stuff like that, which is cool.
Yeah, got a big reaction, a lot of buzz online when we posted the clip of him doing his promo and stuff.
Yeah, it did indeed. So
tuck your effing chin.
Yeah, or I'm gonna cut my hair off. I don't know. Something
Don't.
Like that.
I love him with the hair.
Yeah, it suits him.
I'm gonna change it to make myself appeal to you.
I'm going to match it to different people. Imagine he's speaking to a bald guy one week. He's wearing a bald cap.
I want him to do it with a tag team that have different hairstyles. You know,
that's what I'm
saying. And that's what I want.
Simultaneously,
Yeah.
or like Fraxium, he has half a mask and then half long hair. Why the heck not?
I'll be honest, right? Whether this is them just being stupid and not listening to everyone, and finally this might actually punch through with what happened on main event and he gets a push, or this is some sort of scheme all along. As long as it gets a push, I don't really care.
Yeah. I think people just want to see him doing more, don't they?
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe that will transition into. I mean, the theory is going to either, like, if they don't push him as a result of this, the theory that this is some planted thing is gone.
Yes.
Like it's dead. But
we're holding off until WrestleMania 50.
Yeah, yeah, when he's like 45 or something. Poor guy. But you know, if he does get a push, everyone's happy because everyone's into him at the moment. So
just let him talk.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I think in terms of winning people over, I think he's very capable in ring, but that's not the real appeal of Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
It's his overall presentation, isn't it?
The reason he's gotten over is like, it's not because he's gone out and had 20-minute matches or whatever. Because he hasn't this year. It's because,
let's be honest, that's the same with regards to Jey Uso, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got more of a story behind him, Jey.
He does. And to be fair, Jey, like the Seth Rollins match the other week was really good. But you know, he does have a, as Michael Hanford would say, a Turquinho in him.
Yes.
Every now and then. That's what you would say if you were born in the 30s.
Yes.
So yeah.
1830s.
1330s. I heard he's I don't know. He's
got him good.
He's
so old.
He's a Draugr from Skyrim. That's really mean. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyway, that's our thoughts on Karrion Kross, his push, why it's maybe not happening, all of that stuff with the conspiracy theory. We'll be back later on with a more conventional news video talking about Sheamus and various other things.
Someone's thought it was a good idea to threaten Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, that's not wise. That's not wise at all. But we'll be back to talk about that later on. In the meanwhile, when you check out this video here, the algorithm thinks you're really gonna love it. Bye-bye.
Bye.